Okay, in the earlier lesson we talked about how to create a custom wall and what our custom wall wants to be. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually go into Revit and create that custom wall so that we can use that to design our houses with. And this is going to be our exterior wall, the wall on the outside of the house. So the first thing I have to do is come up here and choose the Architecture tab. And whenever I choose Architecture, I'm going to click Wall. And whenever I do that, this is like a contextual menu, basically meaning whenever I click on something, the information within this palette changes. So this is my properties palette, and the default wall is a generic 6-inch wall. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start with that wall. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to find this Edit Type button. I'm going to click on that, and whenever I do, this little screen here pops up. And the very first thing, the structure, I'm going to, first of all, before I do the structure, I'm going to make a duplicate of this. I don't want to change the one that's there, so I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to call this my exterior wall. I'm going to click Edit for Structure, and this pops up. Basically, my structure, the part that's actually doing the work for the wall, I'm just going to leave everything as that is except for the thickness, and I'm going to change this from 6 inches to 5.5 inches. So that's going to be my stud layer. Then, on the exterior side, I'm going to click up here and I'm going to click the Insert button and add another material. This one I'm going to change from structure to substrate. That's basically my plywood or my OSB, my sheathing layer. Then for my thickness, I'm going to make this 0.5 inches. I could also go into this material and I could change the look of the material so that it lines up with what I'm looking for. And I could use the plywood sheathing layer. I say OK. And then I'm going to click on that again and insert. And this is going to be my finish 1. And then whatever your finish ends up being, you could come in here and choose a different finish. I am going to use siding clapboard. I'm going to say OK, and I'm going to make this 0.75 inches thick. Then I'm going to come down here to this other core boundary, and the core boundary is basically just how Revit defines how you dimension or what you dimension to. And we're going to want to dimension to the exterior side of the core boundary so that the stud wall lines up with the concrete blocks. So I'm going to insert and I'm going to move that down, and I'm going to change this to finish 2. This material is going to be gypsum wallboard or drywall. I'm going to say OK. And I'm going to make this a 1/2 inch thick. This is basically what my wall is made up of. If you want to see a preview of it, that's what it looks like in plan view. And this is what it looks like in section view, as if it were standing up. So there's my drywall, there's my stud layer, there's my OSB, and there's my siding. I say OK, say OK again. And now that wall is the default wall, and I can come in here, click, and start drawing walls. Then, gotta get rid of this thing. Down here, actually I'm gonna hit my little 3D button and zoom around and I can see that wall. Down here there's a little button that says visual styles. If you want to see what it looks like realistically, I can click that, and now you can see the siding on your exterior.